frame of both. Like this.
Oh,
We're synced.
let's go.
Good morning, James.
Morning, buddy.
Welcome to Double Dads.
Cheers.
That was not part of our script.
This whole thing's unscripted.
What are we starting with? This is episode 1, Double Dads podcast. We are what did I?
It's gonna be huge.
It's
gonna be huge. That's
we
what
are.
she said.
I wanted to give a little description,
Ooh.
and I'm going to do that by going back to my ChatGPT thread where I asked it to describe us, and it told us a pretty good response. Welcome to Double Dads, a podcast where two modern fathers dive into the dynamic intersection of technology, gaming, family. Where are you going?
Throwing my gun away.
That's fine.
It's unseemly on camera.
You are setting a precedent.
Sorry.
Technology, gaming, family, and the journey of parenthood. Join us as we explore the latest tech trends, gaming escapades, good word, had to look that one up, all while navigating the challenges and joys of raising a family. Tune in for candid conversations like throwing your gum away mid-sentence, relatable anecdotes, never use that word in my life, and
Don't even
insightful
know what that
discussions that blend the digital realm with the heartwarming realities of real life fatherhood. Dude.
It's so heartwarming.
So that's like the corporate version. My version of that is desperately trying to finish video games when you have no time.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to raise kids.
I'm just trying to finish the
I'm
storyline.
like, I'm going to neglect everything I've ever loved for an hour and a half while I try and defeat this Elden Ring boss.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Can you even beat Elden Ring though, unless you're like a pro gamer?
No.
That, like,
Well,
only
okay.
games?
Well, it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like my little brother defeated it in like a weekend. Took him no time at all because he's just good at it.
Yeah, but
Me,
he's like a pro gamer. That's like
I know.
pro
I'm going to do
gamer.
the same thing, but it's going to take me like 10 times as long because I keep dying. But
Right.
anyways, and I'm using guides the whole time. I have a video open like almost always showing me how to get through the dungeon I'm trying to clear. Anyways, it's fun though.
When you attack a boss, you fight him for a while, get their health down, you die. When you come back, are they like fully regenerated?
100%. And just this morning,
I'm not playing that game.
I was trying so many times they've been down to less than one hit, like just a little tiny blip of red, and then I die. Like it's all the time. But then
Dude.
it's so much more rewarding when you go back and you finish it, you know?
Have you played Halo Infinite's campaign?
No, I have not.
That has bosses.
Does it?
Yeah, that's actually
With
pretty good
enormous
too.
health bars?
Some of them, yeah. Some
That
of them
sounds
are
pretty
pretty
fun.
easy.
Never played it before. It's in my Steam wish list. If it ever drops below $60, I'm gonna
Wait.
do it. Which it may have done that in this last Steam
that's right.
sale.
You
I just
can't
didn't
play
see
the
it.
campaign unless you buy it.
Gotta buy it. And since I'm using the Steam Deck, I can't do Game Pass. Which, does that include the campaign or no? Is Game Pass just multiplayer?
Game Pass includes the campaign,
God dang it. Well,
which
thanks to
is
the
very
platform I'm
affordable.
on.
Game Pass is like the best thing Xbox has ever done.
It's definitely bringing in the numbers for him, I think.
I mean,
Phil Spencer's very happy.
yes.
Let's talk about tech products. We both saw.
A review, like a short, YouTube short on
Oh.
the OnePlus 11, and it made me miss OnePlus really bad.
I don't think I'll
I
ever
kind of
miss
wanted to
OnePlus.
buy one. I know they're like,
OnePlus 11
I
is
don't know, I
new.
feel like they fell from glory. Like they were,
Yeah, they charged
were
like $1,000 for the last phone, and they were supposed to be like the cheap, not cheap, but like the good value, and then they're more expensive than like the base model iPhone.
So this one, it's like on par with the S23, not the Pro, just the 23, but it's $100 cheaper, and almost every spec is better.
Huh. Okay. It
So
starts at $700. I'm looking at it right now.
$699, right?
Yep.
And the S23 is $899, right?
Is it?
I think so.
I'm so out of the loop with the world of Android.
So people
phones.
were saying that OnePlus 7 or OnePlus is back.
Okay. Well,
Kind of. They're like halfway there.
I mean, $700 is a good price, especially if it's all that it's advertised to be. When does this come out?
The OnePlus?
Yeah,
I believe
11.
it's out.
Oh, it is now?
I believe.
How about that? It says buy now. Okay.
I don't know if they're going to make a Pro version though. I feel like normally they release the Pro and then like
And then
regular afterwards.
do they? They have a weird release structure. I feel like they do that kind of
I
backwards.
used to know when I owned them, but maybe
Well, it
I'm
comes
not
in
in the loop anymore.
it comes in Titan Black and Eternal Green, which means there's only one option: Eternal Green every time.
Yeah.
Looks pretty sweet.
Black is boring.
So what's cool about this? What's different about this than the last one?
OnePlus?
Yeah. What was the last one? The OnePlus 10?
I mean, what's nice about it is it's like super close to Pixel software.
okay, so it's
And
stock,
they give you
almost
like
stock Android.
they give you a cheap price with like the latest specs.
okay, it's probably
Like
got
the screen is way better than the
Snapdragon,
Samsung's.
whatever.
It's got like the latest Snapdragon, whatever, 865, 5,000 milliamp battery,
Okay, that's nice.
and yeah. But
Well, maybe it's time to get back into OnePlus, huh?
probably not. I
You've
don't
been-
really know what their future looks like.
You've been Pixel for so long.
I feel like I've heard, yeah. I feel like I've heard that maybe this is a wrong rumor. I thought they were going out of business, or maybe
I
someone
thought
else.
I heard that too.
I thought
Okay.
like Oppo bought them.
no,
right?
Oppo
Or
owned them
Xiaomi?
Oppo owned them all along. They've always been Oppo.
Oh.
I thought, but I
Okay.
thought they were going to get shut down because they didn't sell like any of the last one.
Right.
Anyways,
I love my 7 Pro. That thing was the bomb.com.
you had that for a long time.
Yeah.
Did you just say the bomb.com?
Mhm.
I agree with that. What happened to that phone? Didn't you like smash it in a trunk?
No, that was my
Oh,
Pixel 6 Pro. That was my nice one. That one,
What happened to the OnePlus? We'll get back to the Pixel.
Florida trip. I
Saltwater.
rented a Ford Mustang convertible.
Sweet.
So
Oh, yeah.
nice.
I remember that. I remember you telling me about that.
Went to the beach. Was packing up from the beach. Opened the trunk up. On like the opening of the trunk, there's like a lip that goes around
Yep.
that like kind of seals and the trunk sits on it.
Okay.
Anyways, Peter called me. I'm on speaker. Put my phone on that lip. Throw stuff in the trunk. Walk around to the front of the car. Sarah throws some stuff in the trunk.
Yep.
Slams it. So I go back around. I noticed that the trunk wasn't closed all the way. So I had one more thing to throw in there. So
Awesome.
open it, throw my thing in there, slam it. As I'm slamming it down, I see my phone is sitting there, and I totally slam it again, and just it shattered.
This is your what, Pixel 6 Pro?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
really nice.
I remember you were so excited for that phone, and it was so sleek.
I had
and
it
you're like,
for.
no case,
This
no
is-
screen protector.
This is what happened. OnePlus 7 Pro, loved it, wore down. All my phones I bought were like refurbished from eBay.
right.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy a brand new phone that's
I was
going to
at your
last me
house.
5 years instead of buying an eBay refurbished phone that lasts 2 years.
I was sitting there when you decided this,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is a big moment."
It was a big moment.
Because then you sent Google $1,000 or whatever they wanted for that phone.
I did. So I bought it. 1 month later, destroyed it.
Dude, that luck.
Oh, okay. So then destroyed
so
it. Brought
tragic.
it back to where we live. Brought it into UBreak iFix. $300 to replace the screen.
Okay.
And then
That's not. I mean, I feel like that's what Google would charge,
yeah.
but it's still, it sucks a month after you buy the phone.
So another $300 to fix
Yep.
the screen. I had it for a little while, probably another 6 months.
Yeah, for a while.
Put my phone, me, the wife, and the kids go out to McDonald's with my
Uh-huh.
parents.
Yep.
Put my phone on the table. Evie crawls across the table to get on the other side of me, and she had her like hard soled sneakers.
Yep. Okay.
Pretty sure she stepped on it. I'm positive she stepped on it. Shattered my screen again.
Again,
And since then, like,
dude.
yeah, it just wasn't worth fixing it.
Okay, not a second time. You basically totaled your phone at that point.
Now I have just
Like-
the Pixel 6.
That's right.
Which
What do
is
you
good.
think? Okay, so you went down. You trashed your Pro, and you and your kids combined effort, and your wife trashed your phone, and
Yes,
you
all of us.
downgraded to the base Pixel 6, right?
Yes, it's the base, but it's not the budget. So the 6A is like lower than mine.
Okay, so go 6A,
Mine is like
6.
Yeah.
Okay,
6
and then what you
Pro.
had 6 Pro.
There's really my phone is missing the wide angle camera, and it doesn't have as good of a display. It doesn't like wrap around. I
Okay.
think the resolution isn't as good. But other than that, dude, it's
feels the same to use every day.
It's great. It works just fine.
I heard that when the phone came out. I was watching a bunch of reviews, and a lot of people said that the jump from the Pro or to the Pro from the base model was not worth it's like $400 more or something, $300 more.
Yeah.
And they said it was almost all the YouTube reviews I watched were like, it's not really worth it unless you need a 6.5-inch screen. So I'm sure everyday use is like the same, and battery life's probably better. Have you noticed a difference?
I don't remember, I guess.
Yeah.
My battery life is pretty good.
Okay, seems fine.
My battery life, I think it's better because I always have my brightness all the way up, my resolution all the way up. I never turn it down.
That's right. You could do that on Android. You can set your resolution and your refresh rate, right?
Yep. Make the switch.
Maybe episode 2 we go into the differences between Apple and Android
Should
and
do
our
that.
experiences. Because I had Samsungs my whole life until 2 years ago. Got an iPhone 11. I got an iPhone 13.
I almost got
Love
trapped
it.
in the iPhone ecosystem because I had that iPod for years and years,
Yeah, that's
but I
right.
couldn't afford an iPhone, so I bought an Android. And here I am, still Android.
Are you proud?
If I had the money to buy an iPhone, I probably would have bought an iPhone because I already had the iPod.
They almost had you, man. They almost had
Exactly.
you.
The Lord saved
When
me.
that might be true.
Yes.
Let's talk about some new tech products out there that are interesting. I saw a review. We both saw a review from MKBHD this week about the Samsung Galaxy Tab, which is enormous. I'm going to look it up here.
Yeah. What's the size of the screen?
It
That
was
thing is, it's impressive. It's very impressive. And it looks crisp.
I know it was bigger than my laptop here, which is a 13.8 inch. I thought it was like,
Well, dude, I saw it in his hand. I'm sure he has big hands because he plays like Frisbee and stuff. And like, it was huge in his
it's
hands.
like, he said it's like carrying around a TV.
Oh my.
And I'm looking at the specs right now. Let's see. It's an AMOLED screen too. It's probably higher quality than my Samsung TV in the basement, which was supposed to be one of the top ones when I bought it. It's a 14.6 inch display on the Ultra, which is like another inch on the corner of this MacBook Air.
Yeah.
It's like carrying around
Didn't he
an
say,
enormous
okay,
computer.
can you game with it essentially? Is it essentially a PC or is it like mobile?
No, it runs Android.
Mobile.
It's
Okay,
Android.
yeah.
So whatever you can do on any other phone, you can do on this. So that means basically nothing. Because what does it have for a CPU? Is it a Snapdragon something?
I feel like
Yeah.
it has the latest specs.
Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So the guts are like the same as their phones. It just has an enormous battery from what I hear.
Enormous battery, enormous screen. Well, then you can use keyboard with it.
Yeah, well, you can do DeX,
Which-
which is their desktop experience. Is that what it stands for? I just
Desktop.
realized that. DeX, Samsung DeX, which is literally just Android, but you can have like 4 apps open at the same time, and it works like a desktop computer. But-
Well, I saw when he clicked it into his keyboard, it essentially turned it into like Windows 10, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
Windows 8, whatever.
It's still Android, but it just looks like a desktop computer.
Yeah.
Which is nice if you're trying to do like writing documents or doing anything you would do on a normal laptop. It probably feels the same. Like if you're doing stuff on the web, it's probably great. But it costs $800 for the base model. What is the Pro with the big screen? Cost?
$800? That's actually not bad.
That's for
How can they charge
that's for the
$800
base model. Hang
for
on,
a
hang on.
tablet that's this big with
Hang
the
on.
same specs and then charge $1,200 for their phone that's
The-
this small with the same
The,
specs?
the Ultra, the 14.6 inch display starts at $1,200.
Okay. But still, that's like the same price as their Pro phone.
That's what this laptop costs.
Dude, they're ripping us off big time. Because
And
if they can
also-
produce,
That's the
This
same
is
price as
like-
the phone.
if you're talking about like parts and product, like material,
Yeah.
they're ripping us off.
Well, they can charge more for a phone because they know people will buy it.
Because yeah,
Also, it's
people
small,
need
so
phones.
they
People
can
don't need-
claim R&D, like they took time to make it small and make
Right.
that fit into a phone, so they can claim that it's compact.
It's harder to
I'm
make,
sure it's all
harder to make.
marketing,
Yeah.
but the maximum spec Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra with 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage is $1,619.99.
Ouch.
So you can get a high-end laptop or a tablet.
Or you could buy a really nice
I don't
gaming
think
PC
I would ever do. Yeah, or
for
you could-
$900.
Or you could get the parts and you could build a PC with a 30 series easily, or 40 series.
If this show
NVIDIA card.
if this show takes off, I would love for you and I to buy a PC and do gaming nights, gaming streams.
Let's do it. We can do a gaming
Like actual
stream.
PC so that we actually can like play
We
the same
go
games
online.
together.
We play Modern Warfare at 8 p.m. when all the 12-year-olds are playing, and then we just get destroyed. Because
And then we go play single
we
player
have
games.
jobs and we're trying to win at 9 after our 9 to 5. We go home and try to play Call of Duty
Yeah.
because that is my everyday at the moment. I used to be good.
I can be good at times.
I haven't seen it.
Depends. Depends, I guess.
Depends on the day. Depends on how much coffee you've drank.
It really does.
Let's see. The tab was crazy. I didn't see any other really interesting tech come out recently, but I did pick up this MacBook Air. First MacBook I've ever owned. I had an iPad. I've had iPhones for the last couple of years. I had an iPad for a while that I eventually sold and replaced it with this MacBook Air M2, 512 gig. It's like not the base model, but it's the one above it.
Is that a fingerprint scanner?
It is a fingerprint scanner, so it
No
has
way.
Touch ID built in, so I can scan this in, which is
Is that
really
an actual
nice.
button too, or is that solid?
It's a button, but it only is for like locking and unlocking the computer.
Did you see the OnePlus keyboard video I sent you? I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was a thing.
Yep, I saw that too. We're getting off topic. We'll get to that.
I'm sorry.
I have more to say about this laptop.
I saw the keyboard and then I thought,
I got. Just stop. I'm going to talk about this on my laptop. I've been so excited to talk about my laptop on this dumb show. I got. Okay, here's the story with this thing. I bought it refurbished. Okay, first I had a Mac Mini that I had bolted to the bottom of my desk, and I liked it, but I really wanted to go sit anywhere else besides the office, my like home office, to work on this computer. So I was like, I'm gonna get a MacBook. I took the Mac Mini, went to Apple.com, saw they would give me like $330, I think, as a trade-in. It's like, sweet, let's do it. Sent them the MacBook or Mac Mini. Then I used my trade-in gift card.
the Mac Mini. That's the iPad Mini?
No, Mac Mini
Oh,
is
sorry.
a computer
Yeah.
that has no screen. It's just a PC, a desktop PC. It's about this big. I'll show you a picture.
Oh, it's like the internals. They hook up to a screen.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't have a. It doesn't come with anything. It's just got ports on the back and a processor inside. And apparently the new ones are really good, but it's this little guy.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like a mini
I've
PC.
seen those.
Yep. It was great. It performed great, but I wanted something portable. So I brought it into Apple, traded it in, got a refurbished M2 MacBook Air, the baseline, 256 gig, like base model, cheapest one. Refurbished from them for like, with my discount, it was like $600, I think.
For this thing.
Not this one.
Oh, not
In
this
there.
one.
That was the one that I used to have like 2 weeks ago.
What?
We got, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It came with 256 gigs, and I started watching reviews, and every review said, don't get the base model. And they showed why. Because apparently there's 2 SSD slots inside this machine, and they're both connected to the CPU in a way where it runs in parallel. It uses both of them at the same time.
Okay.
If you get the 256 gig MacBook Air, it has one of those slots populated with a 256 gig SSD. And if you get the 512 gig, it uses both of them. So your storage speeds essentially double
Really?
because it's using both of them in parallel. So you get twice as fast storage, which means when it uses it, like there's a thing where if you max out the RAM on this machine, if you have 1,000 Chrome tabs open, it's going to use some of that storage as RAM. So it's called swap. You can look it up there. But anyways, what I'm trying to get to is that it's twice as fast everywhere because it's using that storage to run your computer for a lot of the time if you're doing a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
And so I got the base model. I'm like, I understand that this is probably not the fastest one, but it was a good price. And I used it for like 2 weeks. You saw me using it. It was a silver one because it used to be silver, right?
Yeah.
And I almost immediately started filling up that storage. 256 gigs.
Dude, it's not enough.
No. And the OS takes up like 60
Especially-
or 70 gigs.
Yeah.
And then it came with like some of the apps I wanted, like maxed out the storage almost immediately. And I was sitting at, you have a 2-week return policy on these because I bought it from Apple. I can bring it back within 2 weeks. It had been 2 weeks and a day
Ooh.
when I decided I should probably bring it back and get the next one up. So I'm like, I'm just going to see what they'll do. So I packed it up and I drove to Ridgedale. I went into the mall and I walked into the Apple store and I said, I want to return this, but it's past the window. Can I return this? And the guy's like, oh yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Nice.
I'm like, sweet, yes. So they took it back, went home. I ordered a refurbished 512 gig in this midnight color, which I really like, although it gets fingerprinted really easily.
Yeah.
I don't really care because I think it's cool. So super happy with this. Tons of storage. We're running the podcast off of this right now.
It's actually a really good looking laptop.
I think it's kind of a
sexy.
kind of a sexy beast.
Like, I would almost get it. Almost.
And you are against Apple in almost every way.
Almost. I am
It's great if you're not gaming.
not necessarily against Apple. I just would
No, I
never
know
buy
what you
one. I would never buy.
I'm being dramatic.
I think I buy their iPads. I have one.
Yep.
I like their iPads.
Yep.
I think they're probably the best tablets out there. They are
Agreed.
the best tablets.
Agreed. Don't buy the Galaxy Tab.
I would get a MacBook if I didn't game, but I do game. So I won't.
If you got a laptop, you would want to game on it.
Sure.
That would be a priority for
I
you?
would want
Okay.
the option to, unless I had a PC already. Then I don't care. And I got one of those.
For me, I did not intend to game on this at all.
Yeah. Right.
So, and I wanted to do creative stuff with it. I wanted to do video editing. I wanted to do some podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do some photo editing, stuff like that. I wanted a good battery. That's been huge for this thing. I get days of battery life out of it if I'm using
Really?
it lightly. We have been recording this for, how do I see this in OBS? 25 minutes. This has been recording audio and the screen's been on. And I used it this morning for a while.
Yeah.
We are at 94% battery.
Shoo. Wow. That's crazy.
Tests I saw by, I forget who did the test. There was some YouTubers who tested the battery like crazy. They had Netflix running for 17 hours before it died.
Full brightness, all that?
Like medium brightness. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Or like, yeah.
Ah.
So full brightness, not quite as much. But like full brightness would be like, what, 14 hours of Netflix? I'm never going to get there in a day.
I think because people are so cultish about Apple, if Apple made some sort of gaming PC, they would make so much money.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. Because why? Okay, let's think about this. Why? Okay.
They start their gaming line.
I'm
Start
so
a gaming
excited
line.
to talk about it. Okay, why do people love Apple so much? It's because all this stuff works together nicely.
Yeah.
Like if you saw you were on your phone and you're like, I need your Wi-Fi, and it just popped up on your iPad.
Imagine doing that with your gaming setup.
But why would it help a game? Like how in gaming would
It's
that
not
help you?
It's not about helping you game. It's about, oh, I can have everything Apple still, just like my phone and
I
iPad
guess.
and all that home system.
But like the reason you make it fun of me is because I can tell Siri to turn off my lights at any time.
Okay, I'm
Hey Siri, turn off the living room lights.
masking my jealousy with spite.
I paid $1,000. Hey Siri, turn on the living
I'm
room
sorry.
lights. Hey Siri, turn on the living room lights. So, anyways, that's okay. So what
That
I'm
is
getting at
cool.
is if I had a gaming Apple device, I could play whatever. I'm playing Elden Ring right now on my Steam Deck. I could play Elden Ring on an Apple device. Cool. Why would that be any different than playing it on a PlayStation?
I don't think it's any different, and it's probably not even better.
Except
I'm just saying it because people that buy and own Apple would buy it anyways. Not because they
That's
think
true.
it's better,
Okay,
but
that's true.
because of it's Apple.
I guess-
and everything else they have is Apple already.
I guess that's like I feel like I purchased their stuff because I like the way I like the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I'm totally bought into it. And so it's the value of this Mac went up so much because I have an iPhone and I have HomeKit and I have
Right.
Siri and I have Apple TV. But like I think that Dell and HP make some insanely good laptops. The Dell XPS 15 is like probably better than this. Nicer screen for sure. So for me, it was because of the way it all works together. So
Right.
like I can pick up my Steam Deck and play Elden Ring in 5 seconds. I don't feel like Apple could improve on that, but I'm willing to
I don't
try
think
it.
they could either.
It'd be cool to see them do a gaming device of some kind. Just because I'd like to see
Right.
competition. You know, that would help all of us.
I don't think they could do, well, they could do things better, but they won't. but they still make a ton of money
Take one.
because it's Apple and people will buy it because it's Apple.
That's a good point.
You know?
The brand sells
Yeah, for sure.
because people expect it to probably work with what they've got. They expect it to be quality, and they expect it to cost twice as much as the alternatives.
Right. Dude, yeah.
Let's talk about gaming since we've been on the topic. I've been playing Elden Ring. I mentioned it a few times. I am late to the game because it came out last year.
How much did it cost? 70?
The same exact price as it was when it came out.
Yeah.
60, it cost me $60 on the Steam store. A month, not even a month, like 2 weeks after I bought it, it goes on sale for like $40. It's fine. I got 20
You
bucks.
return
over
it?
No, I tried. I emailed Steam support and I'm like, listen, this is outside of any of your like rules or like guidelines for returns. Can I please have my $20?
Yeah.
And they wrote back within like 2 seconds. No. I think I still have the email. Unfortunately, we
Yikes.
cannot approve your refund because it's and I had already logged like 18 hours in the game. So they're like,
Basically finished the
you've
game.
gotten your $20 worth out of it.
Yeah.
But this is the second From Software game I've played. I played Demon's Souls a little bit and liked it.
Who makes it?
From Software.
From
Software.
FROM?
FROM Software.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a Japanese
Okay.
developer.
Did they make what's that stylistic samurai game?
They did
Winds
not
Winds of
make
Tsushima? Swords of Tsushima?
Winds of
I don't
Tsushima.
know.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
What you're
that
talking
one.
about?
That one.
Isn't sushimi a dish like a
Sashimi? Something like that.
It's a sushimi. Ghost of Tsushima was not made by From
Tsushima.
Software. They made a game called Sekiro, which you probably heard of. That was their like samurai game, which apparently is really good. Never played it. Apparently it's amazing. I'd love to play through it someday. You're thinking of Ghost of Tsushima,
You played that game.
which was it was a PlayStation exclusive. It was made by Sucker Punch Studio. So not related. The game they made before that, if I remember, was something with Infamous. They made Infamous. So they basically only made PlayStation exclusives, which is why you've probably never played them because you've been Xbox your whole life. I've never played any of the other games, but I played Ghost of Tsushima a little bit. I keep thinking you said
Sushimi?
I keep saying Ghost of Tsushima. I don't remember.
Sorry.
I don't remember how to pronounce it. Tsushima? I'm probably butchering that. Anyways, that was a really cool game. I really hope it comes to PC because PlayStation have been porting their exclusives over to PC slowly. They have God of War and they just put Ratchet and Clank and Last of Us
They're
Part
going to
1.
lose so much money if they don't start doing this.
I really hope
Microsoft is
I really hope they
taking
put
over.
Ghost of Tsushima on there. I would love to play through it.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, Elden Ring, very fun. I'm late. And so I keep talking to like my coworkers and my brothers and friends who have played it. And they're like, oh yeah, that game. Because it was whatever,
That was a
9
good
months
game.
ago it came out. And in the world of gaming, 2 weeks is like an eternity. And so anyways, but playing it on Steam Deck, I am having a lot of fun with it.
Do you have to lower your resolution on the Steam Deck to allow that game to run?
I'm running it at native resolution, which is 800p on the Steam Deck. Doesn't take much. But it's running at like low. It's like low, basically lowest ever.
800p looks fine on a small screen.
I'm getting like 40 FPS,
It's not bad.
and yeah, it. After a while, you can just forget. Like
Right.
it on that small screen, it looks and runs just fine.
I play Tom Clancy Wildlands,
That's right.
and that runs
On your
on
One X.
whatever 30 frames or 32
Yep.
frames, and like it's fine. I really don't care. I played it last night.
Good for you.
Yeah. So it's
There are
really
some
not-
games.
It's a little bit jarring,
Okay.
but once you play for like 2 minutes, you're over it. You know.
You can get used to that. 30 frames is kind of the minimum. Well, it's absolutely the minimum. I feel like 60
Oh,
frames is
yeah.
kind of like if I can hit 60 frames, that's perfect.
I love watching these gaming streamers, and they're like streaming at like, or they're playing at like 300 frames per second, and they like dips down to like 140, and they're like, oh, I can tell.
I
can
hit
tell. And I'm like,
250.
you can't tell. Crap, dude. No way.
I
You can
feel
barely
like you
tell
can
between like, you can hardly tell between 120 and 90. You can tell between 60 and 90.
That's true.
but like
That's true.
like 300 to 150.
I can tell the difference if it goes below. I played on a 144 hertz screen. I could tell when it went down to up to 90,
Yeah.
but it's not as jarring as they might think it is. It also takes like 5 seconds to get used to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just angered half of the Reddit community right there.
Hot take.
Yeah, hot take of the day. 60 FPS is fine. 30 FPS is playable.
Yes.
Don't shoot. Okay,
I've been playing Warzone 2.
okay. Which I have not played.
I only play it because it's like my gaming time with Jordan and Ethan every Friday night.
I feel like we should preface
I never
this again.
play by myself.
We should preface this again with we both have kids.
We also have kids,
And
so I really
like,
only play once a week.
and like, you know, mortgages and stuff. Like we have like bills to pay.
Yeah, we have to feed our family.
When you say I play Warzone, you mean like between the hours of like 8 and 9 p.m.
I get to play Warzone once a week.
Yes. There you go. I edit it. Tell me your experience with Warzone. Have you been just like sat on by all of the sweaty like people who could play 8 hours a day?
It's funny. If you play solos Warzone 2 is fairly easy. I've won multiple times.
Okay.
Duos is pretty hard, but if you get a good teammate and you get some good momentum,
Okay.
you can win, or at least be like top 3.
Quads.
Trios
Okay.
is
Can you do 4
so
players?
hard.
Or is it
You
only
can play
just-
quads.
Okay. Trios
Trios is so hard, dude.
that's when you get into like
It's like
the people who are trying to get on esports teams and they're streaming on Twitch.
Well,
And
what's really hard about Warzone is momentum. You have to have momentum. If I die, even if like Ethan and Jordan are still alive,
Yep.
if I die, redeploy, playing like Resurgence, redeploy. If you if you have to redeploy, there's almost no way of like gaining your ground back because like people are shooting you out of the sky. They'll like see you come down. So then you have
So-
like 2 teams tracking you and you're like,
Right.
you just get hounded.
so in that game, you get a life, and then you can die, and you can go. You 1v1 someone in the gulag. If you win that 1v1, you get redeployed, right?
So that's on standard Warzone. They have a mode called Resurgence,
Okay.
which is as long as your teammates stay alive, you redeploy.
Okay.
But you have like a timer. So like depending on your redeploy, it could be like up to a minute or
Okay.
like 10 seconds,
Got it.
stuff like that. There's like timers going for redeployments.
So you're saying anything past the first life is basically death sentence, or you have
I would
like,
say
no chance.
You can
of-
die twice
coming back.
and then like the last half of the game, it's tough.
Okay.
It's tough.
I don't think I've ever won a game of Warzone in my entire life.
Really?
So my perspective is probably I'm like cannon fodder in that game. Like I'm basically an NPC.
Yes.
I might as well be an NPC. Like in Titanfall, did you ever play Titanfall?
I played Titanfall too. That was fun.
Okay. Did you play multiplayer?
Yeah.
Okay. In the multiplayer, did you notice there's like grunts running around? You can just shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm basically a grunt. In Warzone, if Warzone had grunts, that
People
was
think
me.
you're a bot.
Yeah, they assume I'm a bot.
You would be a perfect bait. Perfect distraction.
That's what I've always
You would
wanted
get
to
tons
hear.
of distraction medals.
I get nothing but assists the whole game, and that's okay with me.
So Xbox updated their consoles.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
What software update?
Yeah. Because
Your One X got a software update.
yes. Because
Surprised it's
so
still
like a
getting
couple weeks ago, Ethan sent me a picture of his Series X home screen. And I'm like, no, mine doesn't look like that.
Okay.
Last night I started to update Cold War and play other games, and like it just wasn't working. Like
Okay.
I don't know why, but like the Xbox couldn't handle the update and like playing another game on
Because
top
it's 6
of it.
years old.
Right. So I it froze the Xbox out, had to like restart the Xbox,
Okay.
went back into it, and like it was totally different. It was like
Oh.
the new layout that my buddy had told me about.
Oh, did they do this thing? Or I know that the series consoles had a new layout. Did they sync all of them up to the same thing?
It's different. Yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay, that's cool.
It was nice, but it bugged my Xbox out for like an hour.
Did it?
So like I tried to get back into games with Ethan for like a whole hour.
Just
Rebooting my Wi-Fi. I rebooted the Xbox like 5 times. Like
Okay.
legit.
Wow.
And finally I was able to get in, but
This took its time.
yeah.
Well, that's good that they're getting updates for the old consoles still. I feel like Xbox is pretty good about that.
Yes. I feel like the last, 3 years, Microsoft has really stepped up their Xbox game.
They're investing in it. They want people to buy
feel
Game
like,
Pass. They
I
want
feel
people
like Xbox is like kind of like whatever, it's great, but like PC was like the gaming thing to be
They've
on.
been focusing so much on Game Pass. That's like their thing. I feel like they need to get some games going though, like exclusive
exclusives.
games.
I agree.
Like that's where PlayStation gets all their purchases because people go, I need to play God of War Ragnarok right now, and
Yep.
you could only play it on a PlayStation,
Yeah, for sure.
which I don't like. I'd rather it was all cross-platform. That'd be better for us, better for consumers.
Did the Microsoft Activision deal go through?
Yeah, I think so.
Did it?
Let's look at the current.
Because I know
status.
like there was controversy, like, oh, it's going through, and then they're like, nope, Microsoft actually can't do that. And then I heard another thing like, oh, it's actually still going through.
I know there's a bunch of governments getting involved in blocking this because it was
Monopoly?
all kinds of monopoly laws were lit up because of that. But I'm looking it up now. According to Reuters and Bloomberg, the Federal Trade Commission has withdrawn its administrative case against Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which was due to go before an in-house judge in August. They've requested the case be withdrawn after the FTC lost its case, arguing for a block on the deal in district court was denied an extension of the temporary block. So it was attempted to be blocked by the FTC, probably because of monopoly, because they're suddenly Microsoft is going to own a ton of huge franchises.
2 billion.
Like, yeah, well, Call of Duty alone,
right.
like one of the top, if not the top selling.
Do you know which Call of Duty has made the most money? You know.
Modern Warfare 2,
No.
20.
And it's 17.
17.
Close.
No?
Call of Duty Mobile.
Are you serious?
Billions
No way.
and billions. Look it up.
That doesn't count.
How much money? I know, but it does because it's still Activision Call of Duty.
Dang it. But it's Tencent,
It has
dude.
made
Went straight to Tencent.
so much money.
Highest selling
and
Call of Duty
billions
games.
of dollars.
Let's see if I can find
I don't know if you want to do like selling because mobile's free. You probably want to do like.
Oh,
which
I
Call of
guess
Duty
there's
has
no
made
sales.
the most money.
Does this? Let's see if this includes in-game.
Where's my Safari here?
Apparently, the highest selling for copies is Black Ops from 2010. Black Ops 1. With
For
32 million copies sold. But I don't know about total revenue. And I'm curious to see, 'cause I didn't even think about
Technically,
mobile.
Call of Duty game that made the most money is Call of Duty Mobile. In 2023,
Okay.
COD Mobile is expected to pass $2 billion in revenue.
Holy
It
cow.
has been downloaded far more than 500 million times during its life cycle.
Dude, that's insane. That's so much money.
I gave them a lot of money.
I gave them nothing.
I gave them a few $100s.
Get those skins and battle
Sarah?
passes.
You should cut that. So Sarah's in here.
It's okay, our wives aren't going to watch it.
Ah, they will.
I gave them nothing. No money from my account.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys.
Oh, my whole thing with that was you got me to play it, and I actually had fun with it. But I had the default skin the whole time. And I stuck with the default skin so long that I was the only one with the default
People
skin
thought you were
anymore.
bot.
Or they thought I had some cool skin that no one else had.
Right.
People forgot
Right.
about the default skin. And I just stuck with it, which is my excuse.
That's
for-
actually great. I should.
That's my
I own
strategy.
so much in that game. Not really. Yes. I should do a showcase of everything.
No one cares about skins, man. Sorry, that was mean. I don't
I care. I care about skins.
I
It's a way to express myself online.
see. Is that why in Call of Duty you can now play as the boys or whatever? Not the boys, but
Yeah, you can play as the boys. You can play as Homelander.
like, it's turning into Fortnite. I guess that's why I'm like so just it upsets me so much. It's because it's just turning into Fortnite, and it's fine. I understand, but part of me feels like
Agree.
Call of Duty died a little bit when you had a lava gun that had like holograms spinning around it, and then it's just the way that games are and the way that's what sells. That's why it's the highest
That's why you play
grossing game,
That's why I play Battlefield.
I guess. But then Battlefield games are hot garbage. So
Well, apparently 2042 is pretty good now.
is it good now?
I think so.
You need to go back.
Jack
to it.
Frakes has been making a lot of videos on it, and he's been having a lot of fun.
Okay, I need to go back to it.
Although they may not be putting in any more content after this next season.
They're probably gonna start working on the next game.
They are.
So, let's move on to the topic. We got some other topics to cover here. You had a funny story about your kids in this list. I want to talk about that because I've got some too.
Yeah. So
Tell me about this.
I have a 4-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl. And they're getting to the age where they can do almost everything, just not very well.
Okay, I see. I see.
So last night, Sarah was gone. I go into the bathroom. We're getting ready to watch Star Wars with the kids.
Nice.
Put my coffee mug in the little Keurig. Click brew. It's brewing. I go to the bathroom. It had finished brewing. I come out, and Ethan and Evie brought the stools over to the countertop, to the Keurig.
To go find the coffee.
Evie had poured in cream for me. Ethan had grabbed the little whisk thing and was whisking it.
Oh,
But
making you a latte.
it was like splattered all over. I came out and I couldn't even be mad. Like I was so happy. Like they tried to make me coffee.
That's really sweet.
It was pretty nice.
So
And actually, they put in a lot of cream. It was
Okay.
like white.
So you made like
But it
almost.
still tasted good because I had like a really dark roast.
Oh, okay. That's nice of them. It was probably a full mug though, right? So they, like
It was a
full
full
mug,
mug.
and they like go to the brim with cream, plunge the like mixer in there.
I had like
it's
I leave like
it's everywhere.
3/4 inch
Okay.
in the top, and by the time I got there was like a 1/4 inch.
Okay, that's not as bad as I was picturing it. There's just cream pouring all over the countertop and the floor as they empty a
No, the
jug.
splatter was from him whisking it.
I see. Oh, funny.
So
That was
then
very
we
nice
watched
of
Star
them.
Wars
And everything was good.
and watching Rogue One, and
It's the best one.
it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I
why.
love that one so much.
I would want a Star Wars rant, but first let me tell you about this.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
funny.
We'll get there.
Funny
We'll
little
get there.
comment. We're watching, and director Krennic, he's in charge of creating the Death Star,
Okay.
kind
Yep.
of overseeing it.
Was that the guy who had like the white cloak on the whole time? He was really angry.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him. Krennic. I have no idea what his name is.
Yeah. So we're watching the movie, we're like halfway through, and my daughter looks at me and she's like, "Daddy, he's a naughty guy. We need to spank him." I'm like,
Oh,
"You're right. We do need to spank him."
of all the
It's
characters
just so
in
funny.
Rogue One,
She's not afraid. She just I need to spank him.
that guy needs some corrective action.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. He'd try to kill those people.
So it's so funny the difference between my son and my daughter. My son, he gets like scared of like intense scenes.
Got it.
He'll like start like he'll get off the couch, like start hopping, start, like, "Ooh," whatever. We're watching Princess Bride,
Uh-huh.
and the screeching eels come up.
Yep.
And he's kind of scared.
Okay.
My daughter, she just starts laughing. It's hilarious.
Dude,
It's
that's
like, "You
hilarious.
are a girl after my own heart."
She just like doesn't care,
Yeah.
and then the guy, your poor son is like hiding behind the couch. Like,
Yeah.
"Ah." That's
So,
hilarious. It's
My
usually
couple
opposite.
funny stories about my kids this week.
That's good. I bought a spring like jumper bouncer thing for my newborn son. He's 4 months old. We stuck him in the bouncer. I don't think he's ever been happier in his entire 30 weeks of whatever his
I've
4
seen
months
him.
of existence.
He's so happy.
He's only been alive for 4 months, but he's already knows his favorite thing, and it's that insane bouncer. So we put him in there, and he's just like, and he just starts going for like an hour. He'll bounce in there. And so it's perfect. So I can just sit down and like have a break.
Isn't
Me
it
and-
nice?
me and the
to have,
wife.
like distractions for your kids.
It's perfect. And I'm learning this with our firstborn here. But what I thought was funny was he's in the bouncer. He's doing great. He loves it. It took him a while to get the coordination. At first, he just kind of like got all stiff and just kind of like swung around. And then now he's actually jumping. We put on music for him.
Ooh.
And so I cycled through a couple different genres, and he totally has preferences. I played like Owl City, like old Owl City music for him with a good beat. And he's just like listening. And then I switched it to like, what else did I play for him? I played a song from, I'm totally blanking on it, but it was like a new release, like basically like a pop dance song. Like,
Yeah.
and he immediately like stopped listening, went, oh, I started like bouncing to the beat of the song. And I was like, wow, okay, no Owl City for him. I guess when he likes new music.
Yes.
I felt very old. So I was like, I like this music, but I forgot it was like, it came out in like 2011. And that's,
Dude, they just
12
know.
years ago now.
You should put on Castlevania, John Wick. That's got a good heartbeat.
The dark, brooding John Wick action music. He
Uh,
might like it.
It's dark. It's not brooding,
Okay.
but it's
It's got a beat.
got that heavy beat. You
Is
know,
that-
when he
is
goes
that
on that
from-
rampage.
Is
The
that
one
from when they're
rampage.
in like that German club with the waterfalls?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yep. That's my kid story. He's bouncing. Besides
Dude,
that,
he's a rock
kinda-
star.
I think so. I think he's going to be. He's hopefully going to carry me through my twilight years,
Yeah.
Like he's going to be successful for me
He better be.
on my behalf.
He is your nursing home fund.
Yeah, exactly. I'm banking on his success.
Yes.
So we're going to nurture him as much as we can to be.
You need to
Good
stay
rock star.
a good relationship with your kids so
Yeah.
that, and make a lot of money so that when you're old, they don't send you to a nursing home. They live with you.
Take care
or
of
you
you.
live with them and they take care of you until you die.
I think that you can have a good relationship with your kids without an ulterior motive too.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just pulling your leg. But yeah, I totally agree. That starts from like day zero. Like
Mhm.
the moment they're born, they want attention. I've noticed that with my boy, firstborn. So I'm learning all this new, but they just want your attention.
Yeah.
Like they want you to be seeing them and involved in what they're doing day to day.
They
Otherwise,
want you like this close, goo and guying in their face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Want to be involved. And that just takes the same, I feel like as you get older, and I'm just pulling from my own like childhood, I feel like it's the same thing when you get older, like you want your parents' attention, but it just comes in different forms.
Mhm.
Like when I was a teenager, I just wanted to watch movies with dad or like,
Yeah.
do yard work, whatever he was doing. I want to be involved. So that's something that's important to start early on. And it's fun.
Mhm.
Like I enjoy it. I'm sure someday it'll be annoying and we'll be annoyed with each other when we're both, he's 16 and I'm like 1,000 years old
Yeah.
and I'm stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
It's
That
all a learning experience. But
this week was a little rough. Thursday, my wife was gone all
Mhm.
evening, so it was me and the two kids.
Okay.
And I don't know. It was just rough. Ethan, my son, he's a good boy, but just this one night, he was just doing, I don't know where his mind was at. He kept like wrestling on top of Evie and like she would cry
okay.
and like she didn't like it, but he would
Uh-huh.
continue doing it. And I'm like, son, are you using your ears? Are you listening what's happening? She does not like it. You're making
Mhm.
her cry.
Mhm.
Tell him multiple times, get off of her. Get off of her. Leave the room. I hear her crying. Come back. And he's like on top of her. And I'm like, dude, what did I tell you? Anyways, found out later that he had like scratched her eye.
Oh no.
So like her eyes like
holy cow.
she can't even like open her eyes. She's like sitting there like, I can't
no.
open it. I'm like, dude, I just lost it. I was like so mad, and I felt so bad
Oh
because
no.
like
yeah.
I don't want to be mad at my kids,
Right.
And like, especially express it towards them.
Sure.
So, anyways, that was just a rough night. You tell your kids multiple times the same thing, and like the next day, it's like they never even heard it.
Yeah.
And it's
They
just rough.
forget it.
So
They're learning.
last night, Sarah was gone again, so I got a redo. I listened to some parenting things. I
Nice
tried to
job, good
like
job.
recover my soul so that I had a good mood towards them. And I'm
Zen.
like, I don't want to feel, I can't like hold past stuff towards my kids. Like
Yeah.
a bad day yesterday, like cannot determine how I treat them like today.
That's a good
Like
point.
every day has to be like a reset. So, and this is the first time I had this. I wanted to call my dad about and like just ask him advice.
Mhm.
Like I've never really needed that from my dad yet.
Okay.
I ask him questions, but
Yeah.
like I generally for the first time I was like, Dad, I need to call you and like talk to you. I
Okay.
don't know what to do or like I need some advice.
You're like you
About,
you
like,
raised me. What did you do?
I need some, yeah. How did I turn out so good?
Yeah. He's like, well,
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first time I've like wanted to ask my dad's opinion about
Okay.
something serious, like
Sure.
more than just, oh, what should I do with like this project type of
My
thing.
grill's not
So,
working. How do I fix my grill?
I haven't called him yet. I still plan to,
Okay. We'll need an update
but
on this.
yeah, that'll be in the next video.
Sounds good.
So that was kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, that's
And last night went really well.
good.
So
That's awesome.
it was great.
That's the stuff I have to look forward to when my kids are old enough to like yell back
Old enough to
or not,
piss
or
you
just
off.
to well, just old enough to like Liam will scream when he's unhappy.
Yeah.
And when he's happy, he's happy. Like if he's hungry, he screams. If he's tired, he screams. Not scream, but he cries. Because he has, that's his only way to express himself is like, I'm
Yeah.
upset. I'm going to be loud, and this is the only way I know how to.
Yep.
But in a couple of years, he'll be able to like look at me and say, "Dad, this is what I think about this," and I'll be like, "What do I do now?"
Right? Right?
But I don't know. I feel like that'd be a proud dad moment for me if I was on your like the opposite end, and like someday in like 30 years, Liam calls me and goes, "I need advice on parenting." I'd be like, that'd be like a proud dad moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And I remember my dad saying, like, whenever I had questions, I'd call my dad. And he was always there to, like, walk
Sure.
me through it. And I'm, like, thinking, I'm whatever, teenager. And I'm like, I know everything. I don't need to ask my dad. Like, it'd be cool. Like, and not necessarily that I didn't think I knew everything, but
Yeah.
I live with my parents, lived
Yeah.
with my parents. So
at the time, you're like,
it was like, I
that's-
have all my questions I need. They're right there. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't really have these important questions that I have to like go up to my dad and like, Dad, I need like help with this.
Yeah.
And yesterday was like the first time I was like, I need some advice from my dad,
there you go.
So
Time comes.
full circle there.
Yeah.
Grandparent to dad to me.
Yep. Knowledge being passed down to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good that it's good to have a relationship with your dad in such a way where you can just call him up with a question like that.
Yeah.
That's something that I haven't had that yet with my dad. The chance to like need his advice
Mhm.
on parenting, but I know the day's gonna come.
Yep.
And
And that was like the first time I've had that
okay, interesting.
in 5 years.
Well,
So
it's good to have a resource like
you have
that.
to be, you'll have to be pushed to your limits. And then when you don't know what to do, turn to your father.
Kids are good at that. They're good at teaching you patience. I've
Yeah.
learned a lot of patience through even just the last 4 months
Mhm.
with our newborn. And
And you can't be angry at a newborn.
I know.
They're incredibly innocent.
I know,
and like
completely innocent.
they can't control themselves. They don't know how to. It's just emotion.
It's just
That's all it
it's
is.
impulse
There's
and
no
emotion.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
It's all emotion and instincts.
Yep.
It's
true.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We've got these topics we're trying to get through. I knew it would take us
How
longer
long
than
have
we
we
expected.
been recording?
We have been recording for, this tells me somewhere, 56 minutes.
Ooh, we're gonna have to wrap it up.
So let's quickly talk about movies we've been watching and some interesting stuff about that, and then wrap this up. I have been watching a couple shows on Apple TV Plus on the Apple theme again from the beginning of the show. Got Apple TV Plus. We've been watching Silo and Hijack.
Is that with Idris Elba?
Yeah, Hijack's Idris Elba.
Is that like a TV show that's essentially like nonstop with Liam Neeson?
I have never seen Nonstop.
Where so Liam Neeson is like an air marshal.
Okay.
And
Haven't seen it.
people like start dying randomly around this,
Oh, no.
I don't know, 20-hour flight.
Okay.
And he has to figure out who's like killing these people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. No, Hijack, and I haven't watched all of them. My wife's watched like almost all the episodes, but I've only caught the first couple. It's more like he's just a passenger on a plane, and then he gets hijacked by these dudes, and you don't really know why.
Hmm.
And then as it gets further along in the season, you realize there's a lot more going on. Like
They're
suddenly,
heading towards
I don't want to spoil it, but
World
like
Trade Center.
no,
Oh,
like
okay.
it was London in this case. But
So it's like a super long flight, like
yeah, it was like a
15 hours.
It
so that
was
they actually can
Dubai
create,
to
like-
London. Dubai to London is the
Okay.
flight. And so I was wondering like where's this gonna go? Like it's a hijacking. I saw there's the movie about the 9/11 planes.
Mhm.
What's it called though? I forgot what it's called.
Flight 37. No.
No, it's something like that. Anyways, I thought it was gonna be like I've seen that category of movie before, where it's like, oh, they're on a plane, it's getting hijacked, and they, go through some difficulties, and then they land the plane. But this show, the more the season goes on, the more I realize that there's a lot more going on. Like the plane getting hijacked is like a tiny blip in the actual story, and it's not the whole story. And it's the same thing with Silo, the other Apple TV show we've been watching. That's also like the first season came out this year. Is like Silo is about this like underground civilization in the post-apocalypse that all these people live in like this silo that goes down to the ground, and there's a bunch of levels and a stairway in the middle.
Yeah.
And at first I thought like the whole premise was, is the outside actually, is it real? Like, is it actually an apocalypse, or are they faking it just to keep people inside? Like that felt familiar too. Like I feel like I've seen that. City of Ember was an old movie I saw. There's a couple
Almost
movies.
like Divergent.
Kind of.
Stuck in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that idea. We're like, we're in the city, and is it actually, and like it's the same thing with that. Like within the first season, you discover there's a lot more going on, and there's actually like an entire show's worth of interesting stuff.
How
going
many
on.
seasons are there of
One.
Silo?
One.
And there's more.
The last episode,
coming out?
yes, season 2 was greenlit already, but the last episode came out like 3 weeks ago.
Ooh.
So it's very new. It's really, really, really good.
I need to get Apple TV.
I am a fan. You should get it.
I want to watch Silo. And I'll watch Hijack too. That sounds interesting.
Hijack's really good too.
And Foundation.
Foundation apparently is not as good, but it does have cool effects.
Okay.
We both saw the VFX artist react a couple weekends ago. They talked about it.
Is that the one where the boat transformed in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really cool effects they're doing in that show. Because it's so high budget. Apple has so much money to throw at these.
Have you
Because
heard that?
people like
Apple-
me are buying their laptops.
Yeah. Yes.
Taking my money.
And iPads.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Have you heard that Apple might buy Disney?
That's a rumor.
Because Disney is way in trouble.
That's a rumor we'll get into in episode 2.
Okay.
Because that's a
'Cause that's
really
a big-
I really want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
'Cause that's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
This has been episode 1 of Double Dance. And we start out with an outline, and I knew it would go off into tangents, and that's just fine.
We hit about half the things we wanted to.
Basically, and that'll probably be the same for all the episodes going forward. But we're gonna try to record these once a week when we have time. We mentioned we're dads. Time is irrelevant at this point in our lives.
Yeah.
We'll see what we get. But yeah, this has been episode 1, Double Dads podcast. 2 dads just talking about. I gotta go back to that ChatGPT summary again.
Yeah.
Candid conversations about tech, gaming, family, the journey of parenthood, and all that stuff wrapped into one chaotic something that maybe is called Double Dads.
Double Dads.
Podcast.
If you're a young dad, you can come here, get some advice, or of things you should do or things you shouldn't do. And if you're not a dad, you can come here and have some fun. So
I like that. That sounds
Yeah.
good. Thanks for tuning
What's
in. This has been Double Dads, and we'll see you next time.
peace out.